Well, the GOP calling for a Supreme Court justice just like Antonin Scalia. Former Senator Alan Simpson voted for Justice Scalia back in 1986, and he joins us now on the phone. Sir, thanks for taking out the time.
Sure, you bet. Nice to hear you.
I know Justice Scalia was a good friend of yours. The nation mourns the loss of what many are calling a legal giant, and the big question now is whether or not his shoes can be filled in the Supreme Court.
True, and he became a nice friend. He had a delicious sense of humor. Robust would be half a word, and we loved having those little stories and jokes together. And then his wife, Maureen, a gentle giant of a woman, strong and filled with grace and style, and wonderful kids. Enough of that, but he was special, and he got a huge confirmation when he came before the committee and the Senate. I think it was nearly unanimous because we'd just been through the horror story of the Bork and Ginsburg, so they were waiting for somebody, and I think the toughest question he had was, do you sing and play the piano? And he said, yeah, yes, I do. And they said, oh, wonderful. And honestly, it was a piece of cake, and now South Carolina and all the boiling, the first shots of the Civil War started there. We'll see one of those come the election. But enough of that. It'll be tough to fill his shoes because there's no one that can ever match his concept of the Constitution. Originality. What were they thinking of when they put it together? Get your dictionary out and look at the words when they talked about defense and the postal office and everything and states and all the rest of it. There'll never be another one like that in the history of the court.
One thing that Justice Scalia was really known for is pointing out the way law schools work these days. And I guess to your point and the point he often made is that it's hard to find someone who would be a textualist, if you will, someone who would adhere strictly to the words of the Constitution and not think of it as an evolving document that is supposed to reflect the times. I mean, do our law schools even produce those kind of free thinkers anymore?
No, I think Berger said it once. He said, I'm seeing litigation here of 747 quality run by lawyers who are Piper Cubs. and that was true. But Scalia believed that law schools were just churning out lawyers and not law. And he believed that, and he lived it. And textualism, originalism, whatever it is, look him in the eye, big smile, and man, he could lay one on you that you didn't forget. And firm, fair, tough, man, he was a piece of work, and he believed in how those words came about. How did the First Amendment came about? Well, it came about because they wouldn't let the media within 100 yards of the building. And so they had to do something to protect some guy cranking out seditious literature in the basement in Philadelphia, so they did that, free speech. And all the others, the Second Amendment had a meaning. What was it? And that's what he did. And he brought a clarity to it, whether you liked it or not. Like, oh, gosh, the guy's probably right, but we have to make it a living document, and that's where he knew it went awry.
What about the notion that it's become so politicized, and also there's this pressure? I mean, when President Obama called out to the Supreme Court during a State of the Union address, I'd never seen anything like that. I don't know if it's ever happened before, but it was really shocking. The sort of outside pressure now that's on these 9 justices, is that something that's going to be difficult to overcome in the future?
Oh, very much so, and that's what Sandra Day O'Connor, after she got out, that's her subject matter now. Watch out for the politicization of the courts. It happened in Iowa. There were some decisions, I think, was on abortion or gay marriage, and the public went in there and just scammed him out, just ripped him out. That's why they gave him a lifetime appointment, so they could stay away from the passions of the mob, and it works, and it's going to work. But let me tell you, this president isn't about to put up anybody that isn't of his stripe. I mean, and I heard him speak to the Illinois legislature the other day, and I thought, I must be in dream world. He talked about working together, bipartisanship, don't get nasty with each other, and I thought, Lord, he and Harry Reid just rained bombs on George I and anybody else. I mean, this is nuts. You can't live a hypocrisy like this.
Well, Senator Alan Simpson, again, we're sorry for your loss, and of course it was a loss for the great country of America, and we appreciate you taking out the time.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much.